What's going on, guys? It's your boy Woodsy, coach of the West Virginia Knockdowns, with my very late week 10 and 11 uploads for QDL. Since they are late, I am just going to go ahead and throw the week 10 and 11 uploads together, especially since neither of those games really mattered for me. I already had the bye week locked and loaded after week 9. So I pretty much just threw together a couple of hyper-offensive teams and a couple of quick builds, since these games didn't really mean all that much to me, and tried to have some fun with it. As a result, I didn't necessarily have the best checks to everything for these two games, but I think that I did a pretty decent job anyway, despite that. So getting into it, I'm just going to go quickly over the team since we're going through two battles here. Just a Stall Breaker Crobat, Sub, Earth Power Ice Beam Swampert, which, pretty much just like ripping off the standard Kyurem set or whatever, or at least the old Kyurem set that when Metronome was good. Then we got Nasty Plot Rotom, which is my defogger for the week. King Rock Cinchino, which was there to be able to break through some of his walls too, because I think Bandit would have also maybe two-shot a lot of his team, but I don't think it did actually. I think that's why I ran the King's Rock, so I could get a flinch on and try to get the kill that way. And then just Rocker Heatran, pretty offensive with the Shuka Berry, and then Choice Specs Greninja. Getting into his team, I automatically, just because I was running the hyper offense, I had no switch-ins to stuff like his Primarina. Specifically, I kind of had pseudo switch-ins to Victini, but that was also looking pretty rough. And so on. I ended up leading with... What did I lead with? Oh, I led with Heatran, thinking he's going to lead with either his Victini or a Scolipede, but he ends up leading with a Primarina, which is horrible for me because I don't have a switch into this thing. I'm just going to go into Rotom though, and then I'm probably going to live any hit that it goes for anyway, and be able to spare it out with an electric move. And predicting that he was just going to go into the Gligar, I am going to get a Nasty Plot here, even though I risked just kind of getting killed on that turn. But I was pretty confident he's going to go into Gligar there. But because I got burned, he is able to kind of just roost stall me on the Shadow Ball, since they are only doing about half. And predicting that he is just going to roost again, trying to stall me out with the burn turns and everything. I'm going to go for another Nasty Plot as he does roost, so I get him on that turn. But at this point, this is pretty much going to be my last turn anyway. I am at least going to be able to go out with the bang here and get off a nice 88 on this Gligar with Shadow Ball. But after U-turn and the burn chip, I am going to lose my Rotom, which is pretty important because the Scolipede that just came in, this Rotom was one of the only two things on my team that could really live a hit from this thing. So I go into my Crobat, which is my other thing, and I get to fire off a Brave Bird, which is really free against this team, as he goes into Sigilyph. I was a little scared of this being Scarf, so I was tempted to switch out here, but I ended up not switching out and KOing it with the Brave Bird. So we get the kill there with the Crobat, who looks very good this match. As he goes Victini. I know that my Crobat's pretty good. I don't want to let it go to waste here. I'm just going to go into my Swampert, which is going to take a V-Create pretty well. And I am going to take this as an opportunity to get a sub up, thinking that he's going to switch. So I do just that as he goes into Gligar. I am carrying the Ice Beam rather than the Water move, which is actually kind of bad for me, because as you'll see, he's going to roost here. Meaning that my Ice Beam is only going to be doing 2 times effective damage rather than 4 times, and if I had a Water move, I would at least be getting that stab on the super effective move. So, Ice Beam after the Roost is only doing 30% or so. So he is going to be able to get his Gligar up pretty healthy again, but as all this is happening, my Swampert is just sitting behind a sub getting leftovers and stuff, and I'm not really all that worried about Gligar. It doesn't really do anything this game, other than... I guess I could tank hits from Cinchino pretty well and maybe scare out Heatran if it speed creeps it. But he does finally get up to pretty healthy, and you turn into his Primarina, which again is a huge threat. After my Ice Beam into Earth Power here revealed to do absolutely no damage, I find out that he is a defensive Primarina of some kind, and he is carrying the Energy Ball too, so he pretty much just hard shuts down my Swampert. Not good for me, so I'm going to get on out of there and go into my Crobat, thinking he's probably going to click Energy Ball again, but he does click the Scald, And he does get the burn. The burn specifically there is what sucks because I am running a physical Crobat set, and Crobat is one of the better mons I had in this matchup, so that is unfortunate. I'm just going to fire off a Super Fang, trying to weaken this Primarina because I know it is something that I really need to get out of the way. As he goes into the Gligar, and I'm going to taunt so that he can't get his Gligar back up and healthy again, and then I think I just roost in this thing's face because I even though my Crobat is burnt, I do still kind of want it. As he is going to U-turn on out of there and go into, I believe it's Tangrowth, yep. But this Crobat was one of my Tangrowth checks anyway, so I was kind of okay with that. I don't know why he really went into it, but I'm going to be able to get a big 50% off a Super Fang. Raybird would have done less since I was burned, and Tangrowth is so bulky on the physical side. As he knocks off my Black Sludge, so I am actually going to be taking burn damage now too, which is unfortunate. I'm just going to keep spamming Super Fang, because I can't really do that much damage with Braybird anymore. Again, gonna go for the taunt because I don't want this thing to get up and healthy again, as he does try to roost again, which is, you know, good for me because I'm not gonna let this thing get healthy on me. Go for the Braybird to knock this thing out, but after that, my Crobat is going to, oh, no, it doesn't matter this turn. I still got one more turn with the Crobat as he goes into his Tangrowth. I'm gonna be able to get a bunch of chip on this thing as my little dying wish there with the Crobat. But both of my Scolipede answers are now gone, so I can't really let this thing set up a Swords Dance, or it's just going to blow through my team. I do have Shuckleberry Heatran, but even, depending on the set actually, +2 Scolipede could still OHKO Heatran through the Shuckleberry with Earthquake, so I can't really let the Scolipede get set up on me under any circumstances here. I go into Greninja here because I didn't really think I needed it all that much anymore, and I thought there was a pretty good chance he just went for the water move on my Heatran. So it was kind of like a sack, kind of like a hoping something good was going to happen anyway kind of thing. But I go into Cinccino now to Revenge Kill as he goes into his Tangrowth, which I am going to two-shot with Tail Slap, but I do unfortunately miss the second one, so he's going to be able to knock me off and knock off my my King's Rock, which I didn't really need the King's Rock anymore because at least in this matchup, Gligar and Tangrowth were the only things I was going to really need it for, and they are both gone now, but maybe I would have liked to have the extra 50% health, as he does go into Scolipede. I just said I can't let this thing get set up, and yet I switched out on it anyway, even though, like, no, because I don't think Cinccino ever killed it anyway, but I think my only chance at this point was to maybe get, like, a bunch of crits with Tail Slap, because, you know, I don't know, I think that was really my only chance, because as you'll see, he gets up to +2. He is one of those sets that is going to be able to OHKO my Heatran through the Shuckleberry anyway, which I think he had to be like adamant and like maybe even a boosting. I don't know if he needed a boosting item or not. I kind of forget because this was a while ago. But after that, he is just going to sweep the side here with his Scolipede. So GG to Moomt. He was also one of the, I think he was actually the 3 seed in the playoffs after this. So you know, I came underprepared to a good opponent, and I lost as a result. First loss on the season, but is what it is. I wasn't really all that concerned about that, because I think I kind of just maintained my spot in all the grand scheme of things anyway. But moving on past that, we'll get into my Week 11 match against Ballhawk, who is one of the admins of the server. Again, pretty hyper offensive team. Specs Greninja again, because Greninja's my team's kill leader, so I was just kind of bringing Specs trying to get kills with this thing towards the end of the season, kind of boosted stats or whatever. On top of that, Choice Band did Swampert, because if I recall correctly, High Horsepower kind of just ripped through his whole team. Then we had Bulk Up, Tapu Bulu, which I think he had a Dracozolt. This was my Dracozolt answer as well, because even though I'm running Hyper Offense, Dracozolt is something that kind of rips through Hyper Offense, so I had to be a little bit prepared for it with the Pert and the Bulu. Focus Sash Armaldo with 4 attacks. It's also my spinner. Kind of just like a lead Mon to fire off some huge damage with the Edge Quake and whatever. And again, we had an offensive Heatran with Weakness Berry and Choppleberry. 3 attacks, again, my Rocker, and then Dragon Dance Haxorus with 3 attacks. So, looking at this matchup, like I said, I pretty much just brought specifically lead Armaldo with that Focus Sash and everything. So I am going to go ahead and lead it as he leads with his Magnezone. I actually speed creeped 0 speed Tyranitar, I think it was. which also just so happened to speed creep 0 speed Magnezone, which I wasn't really expecting them to be. I was just expecting to live the hit because of the focus sash and kill with Earthquake, but I do reveal to actually end up being faster than him, so that works out very well for me. And I just take him out with the Earthquake. I'm gonna go into Greninja because I think it deals with a lot of Blastoise's sets, and if he was Shell Smash, as long as he wasn't running Aura Sphere, I could maybe tank hits, but as he doesn't have Aura Sphere, but he gets to flinch with the Dark Pulse, which actually sucks, because as you'll see, I would have lived 2, and I would have 2-shot in return, so I ended up with living and then winning this exchange, but because of the flinch, I'm going to have to lose my Greninja because of that, and which is unfortunate, because the only other things on my team that live a hit from a +2 Blastoise are my Tapu Bulu, who I want to keep healthy because he does have the Dracozolt and the T-Tar and everything on his team, and my Armaldo just because I still have that Focus Sash. So knowing that I still wanted to keep my Bulu healthy, I'm going to go into my Armaldo here and live on the Sash and take this thing out with the Stone Edge. I did risk the Stone Edge because I think X-Scissor was a roll, depending on what his EV, like if he was like no bulk, it was a roll, so I just assumed that he had some bulk on him, and that I had to go for the Stone Edge, which I did. Goes into Mimikyu to Revenge Kill. This kills me with a sneak there, as I'm going to go into my Heatran, I believe, after this. Yeah. And seeing that his entire team, including the Ditto becoming the Heatran, is weak to Earth Power, and since he had still have the Disguise up, I'm just going to go for the Earth Power on this turn, as he does go into that Ditto, expecting me to maybe go for a stab move. But I do catch him on the switch and take out his Ditto with the Earth Power, which is really nice for me. He is going to go into T-Tar as I go into Swampert, because I want to keep my my Heatran alive, since it's my best Mimikyu answer, as he goes for the Dragon Dance. And what he expected to happen on this turn was, he expected to potentially 2-shot me with the high horsepower, which he probably would have, and live my attack, because he didn't expect me to be choice banded. So I catch him off guard with that, with the choice band, and take out his T-Tar as he goes into Dracozolt. I know that I'm still going to be able to live any hit from this thing, because it was one of my checks to this anyway, and I'm going to be able to again KO it with the high horsepower. So that's 2 kills for Swampert there. He's just left with his Mimikyu, and he is going to kill my Swampert with it, but I'm going to be able to go into Heatran afterwards and clean this up, and finish off the season with the win here. And with that, regular season was over. I finished 10-1, I believe. I did end up finishing in the 1 spot in the league, so I did get that 1 seed. Either way, I was going to get the bye week, so I didn't really care all that much. But yeah, with that, I've been sitting on the bye week here. We are officially going to play my round 1 game this upcoming week here. And with that, we're hoping for a good playoff run. Since I did get the bye week, I only have to win 2 games to get the ship. So, yeah, looking forward to that, and I will catch you guys then.